called Pre-Pilates exercises. So in Pilates, if you follow Joseph Pilates, he had a repertoire of a lot of different Pilates exercises, and they would go in a specific order. Well, this is pre-Pilates exercises. So these aren't exercises that you would find in the Pilates repertoire. They're used as preparatory movements to support the body when you do the Pilates repertoire exercises on the mat. So what I find these useful for is for somebody that's maybe just learning the repertoire, just learning Pilates, and maybe their body needs a little bit extra time and work to either find stability or to find more mobility. So these exercises just support the Pilates repertoire. And it's a really great foundation to start with if you are just learning, and you can add these into your own practice, if you will. But this is like a very, very like foundational from the ground up exercises. So we're gonna start with breathing, of course, right? Because the whole basis of Pilates is breath. Pilates does derive from a diaphragmatic breathing. And of course, there's all different types of breath work and way to breathe, but the foundation of Pilates is diaphragm breathing. So I'm just gonna have you bring yourself in a comfortable position. We'll get the breath going first, and then we'll move into the exercise. So it's typically inhale through the nose. You let the belly expand. And then as you exhale out the mouth, you feel the abdominals come back in closer to the spine. It comes in front and back and side to side. We call this like 360 breathing or corset breathing. That's where that corset cue comes from. It's like we're wrapping those muscles really close into the spine, but without changing the structure, right? I'm not arching, I'm not curling, and we're gonna go over that more, but we're just gonna focus on the function of the breath. So as you inhale, belly expands, chest doesn't move. And then as you exhale, you have that experience of gathering and lifting, right? Resist the urge to grip. Inhale, release, soften. And exhale. Gather and deepen. You can bring your hands here right underneath, kind of like where the sternum and the ribs meet. And as we inhale, and the next time, we're gonna guide our hands down. So inhale. Guide the hands down. The diaphragm moves down here, creating tone against the pelvic floor and also space. And then exhale, the diaphragm moves back up. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome. Now we're going to transition this to an all fours position. This is called pregnant cat. So all fours, shoulders directly over wrists, knees directly under hips. And we're going to do that same breath, keeping our spine neutral. So neutral just meaning you have the natural curvatures in your back already. So without changing the structure of the spine, just like you did, it's the exact same breath pattern. We're just against gravity here now. So inhale through the nose, soften the abdominals. Exhale out the mouth. Gather and deepen the belly. Now you can visually see on me as I inhale, my belly drops down towards the floor. And then as I exhale, I bring it back in. But careful, I didn't round my back to do that. So keep practicing. Inhale, soften the abdominals. And exhale. Let's do two more. Inhale. And exhale. There's this narrowing quality also between the hip bones. One more. Inhale, soften, release. And exhale. We're going to shift onto our back now. So swing your legs around to the front. Lie down onto your back. Let your arms reach by your side, right? Feet are just in a comfortable place down onto the mat. And now we're going to add movement into our pelvis, into our lumbar spine, our low back. So we're just going to do an inhale right now to prepare. And then as we exhale, we're going to gently curl our tailbone under. This brings our low back to touch the mat, right? And you can see that my abdominals now have sunken in. It's like they're coming back towards, I'm not gripping though, I'm not pushing. And then I'm going to release that, rock it forward, keep rocking. Feel the sits bones open, the thigh bones sink deeper, and look at the space between the low back and the mat, right? So now, and the ribs might even lift too, right? So we're going to curl, we're going to reverse that again, curl the tailbone under, and inhale, release. Now, I'm going to just move my hands so you can see my low back. And I really want us to focus on this being like a really easy movement through the back, right? Think of this as a structural movement, not a muscular movement, meaning that I'm not jamming my low back into the floor. I'm not gripping my glutes. I'm not squeezing my glutes. I'm also not squeezing my abdominals. So see the difference. If I would be contracting here, it would be to curl. I'd be like, curl. And you can see there's this pushing. Inhale, release it. Exhale, curl. So what we're doing here is creating some nice mobility and movement in the low back and curl. Right? Because that place naturally arches, right, throughout the day, we're just giving it some nice movement and releasing it in a curl. Let's just do one more. So here's our coccyx curl. Now, curl the tailbone under, step into the feet, and then go into your bridge. And in Pilates, the bridge is this narrow bridge and the ribs stay down. Almost like we're taking the top of the body into the spine and the back of the body into the spine. Again, it's that corset sensation. You can even feel like there's two magnets between the hip bones, and the hip bones are trying to come together. So I want you to resist this, right? I didn't squeeze my shoulder blades under. The shoulder blades are still nice and broad. Sternum is still nestled right where it belongs. And then we're going to articulate our spine down. So roll down one vertebra at a time. So I'm curling down. And then release at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale, curl the tailbone under. Press into the feet and coming up and lengthening out simultaneously so you don't push the weight back onto your head. And now we're going to roll down. Now the spine starts, you can think of it, it's like between the ears, right? So I want you to soften the jaw first, and then soften the back of the throat, and then down the sternum, and then the ribs, and then the mid-back, and then the low back, the pelvis, and then reach all the way through the sits bones again. We'll do this again. So curl, step into the feet, feel the narrowing sensation as you lengthen out, feel a stretch across the front of the hips, the kneecaps, and then slowly smooth it down and roll down. Let's do one more. This is our articulating bridge. And curl the tailbone under, going up into that bridge. Pause there, and then slowly roll it down. The next one, we're going to go up and we're going to stay, and I'm going to add on here. So I want to just add on creating an awareness between where the pelvis sits and it being stable as we move one foot. You're going to hover the right foot just off of the mat and then bring it down. And now you're going to hover the left foot just off the mat and bring it down. And then the right. Now this is a little bit more than our pre-Pilates, but I think it's useful here. It's also still a very foundational movement. And this is just going to give you an idea of if your hips can stay nice and even when you just barely take one foot off the floor and then the other foot off the floor and down. And this is a really great foundation of Pilates. It's about balance, it's about precision, and it's about control, it's about mobility and stability. Take the foot down. Last time, roll the spine all the way down. Now reach the arms up to the ceiling. The palms are facing each other. I want us now to get an idea of where our shoulder blades belong on our rib cage. So you can feel that the shoulder blades are pretty broad, and they should feel that way, right? They're not like close into the spine. They're more towards the side. And remember, the rib cage is not flat. It's domed, it's rounded. So that's why the shoulder blades are kind of mimicking that. We're gonna take the right arm. I want you to keep the elbow straight and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, right? Now feel how the shoulder blade just slid along the rib cage. The collarbone's gonna round a little bit. And then I want you to, like a string is holding onto your fingertips to the guy, and then like we cut the string, shoulder blade just drops down. We're gonna do the left. Left shoulder blade, reach it up to the ceiling, and we're gonna cut the string, drop. Reach the right arm up, drop. Reach the left, drop. And the right, drop. The left, drop. One more to the right, reach, drop it down. The left, and drop it down. Good. So we created mobility, and now we also really can feel our shoulder blades and where they belong. Turn the hands away from each other. Bring the back of the hands to touch. We're gonna bend the elbows and bring them down into the sternum. So the breastbone here. I'm just gonna aim my fingertips down towards the sternum. I want you to imagine where my fingertips are touching, which is the front of the sternum, a line through my body to the back of my sacrum, the back of that flat bone underneath me. So I'm just visualizing that line. So it's kind of a diagonal line. It's from the front of the body to the back of the body going downward. So that's just like a diagonal trajectory. Now notice my shoulder blades are still broad. I still have tons of space between my shoulders and my ears. I'm gonna keep that there, and we're gonna do an upper ab curl. Inhale through your nose. As you exhale, deepen the abdominal connection, and then let the head just float up as you encourage the sternum to soften down towards the back of the sacrum, and then roll back down. So ideally, when we pick up our head and our shoulders, we're really using it from the strength of our abdominals, that deep connection, and also the flexibility of your spine plays a big role in this. So I'm not trying to pull with my shoulders. Inhale, I can't. And exhale, curl. Inhale, roll down. Now the goal is not how high can you go. The goal is to pay attention. Exhale, curl up. Pay attention to where the honesty is of your alignment. Like how high does your spine want to curl up? And then how free can your neck feel? Exhale. Deepen the connection and float up. Inhale, roll back down. One more. Curl up. Stay here. Keep your shoulder blades where they are. Interlace the hands. Take them behind the head. Now you have the hands to support the weight of the head. But notice I didn't try and pull, right? I'm letting my head actually kind of rest a little bit gentler into my hands, and my elbows are forward. Now, why are my elbows forward? Because it's honoring where my shoulder blades are, right? Here, like, do you see how that changed my rib cage connection? It changed my shoulder to rib connection, right? Now bring them back. And now the body's in alignment and it feels way more supported and lower back down. It is not a cheat, right? Because our focus is here, and that just helps keep our focus here. And it helps us move with more ease. When we honor the anatomy, we can move with more easefulness, right? And the quality of our movement improves. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, same thing. Deepen the abdominals and float up and lower back down. And curl. Now pause here. I want you to reach your arms to the ceiling. Now we're going to do what's called rib cage arms. So as we move our arms back, we're not moving our rib cage. So the arms for me can only move about here without me losing my alignment. If I went a little bit further, my upper body would go back, my ribs would lift, and now I feel a little straight on my neck, right? So I'm just gonna go here and then lower them back down. And we're gonna reach the arms back again, only as far as we can maintain our stability, and then down. Just 2 more here. Reach the arms back, keep maintaining that stability, and lower. 1 more. Arms start to float back, ribs are funneling down in opposition. Bring the arms back. Let's interlace them again behind the head and lower back down. Okay, we're gonna take our arms by our side. Now, we're gonna focus on stability of our pelvis. So, we're gonna stabilize the pelvis. Take your right leg to a tabletop position. Stay there. Now, move the right leg down. Now, the shape of the leg didn't change. What I mean is I have this 90-degree bend in my knee, and that's not changing. I'm focusing on the mover being at my thigh bone. So my thigh bone is rolling forward, and so that creates that lever to lower down, and then I don't have to arch my back, right? So my back stays still, my leg moves. All right, keep that one down. Let's do the other side. So bring the leg up, maintain the pelvic stability, and then lower the shape down and up. So this is important to get an awareness of the back of the knee and where the movement is coming from, right? I can stabilize this joint and I can move this one, right? And all the while my back is still. All right, now we're gonna add a challenge here. So you can always stay with that or we're gonna move on. Right leg tabletop, left leg joins it. Okay, so now you can feel the work increased, right? So now we're having to maintain the legs above us off the floor. We're keeping our abdominals deep into the body and our back is gonna stay still. We're gonna move the shape of the right leg down and bring it up. Now the left. Inhale down, exhale up. Now you're only lowering the leg as much as you can stabilize the back. So that might be smaller than my range of motion, right? But the goal is that you're able to find that, right? The important part is that you're able to have a mind-body awareness and a mind-body connection and then make really good decisions for you in the moment. Let's do 1 more each side. So remember, these are just for you to get an idea of your pre-Pilates exercises, just the foundations. And then we'll bring 1 foot down, bring the other foot down to join it. Now, I'm gonna give us back another upper ab curl, but I'm gonna add a breath technique. This breath technique is called progressive breathing. It's a short sniff in the nose and a short blow out the mouth. And we progress from doing that 1 time up to doing it 5 times. Now 5 is quite a challenge. You might start just going 1 to 2. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like. The breath is gonna be in, out, in 2, out 2, in 3, out 3. So you get the idea. And I want you to notice my abdominals, how there's like this implosion on the exhale. I'm gonna do it again without talking so that you can see it. So it looks like and by that 5th time, you should feel like you are just coughing out the breath. Now, we're gonna do that while we maintain our upper ab curl. The goal, okay, in addition to it, so I'm gonna get in this upper ab curl now, I'm gonna show you. Now, when we inhale and exhale, what I'm looking to avoid is inhale, exhale, right? Obviously that was an exaggeration, but I want you to see that I don't want my inhale to lose it and my exhale to bring it back together.
I want my inhale to be just as supportive as my exhale is. I like to think of it as my inhale is supporting the lift, my exhale deepens the connection. My inhale supports the lift, my exhale deepens the connection so that I stay lifted the whole time and I'm not bouncing up and down. Let's try it together. And again, this is just something you'll be able to practice. Interlace your hands, take them behind the neck and the head, elbows slightly forward. I like to zip my legs together here if you'd like to join me in that. We're putting all these foundations together. So inhale through the nose. Exhale, curl up, sponge all the breath out. And here we go. In, out, in, two, out, two, in, two, three, out, two, three, in, two, three, four, out, two, three, four, in, two, three, four, five, out, two, three, four, five. And roll back down. Okay, so this might be where you pause and you practice it again on your own. Beautiful. So let's take our arms down by our side and let's keep our feet glued together. And we're going to do a knee sway. I'm going to move my hands a little bit wider. And as I sway my knees to the right, I'm going to keep my left foot, knee, and thigh stacked and then bring it back to center. We're going to go to the other side. So sway to the left, look at my right foot staying stacked and center. Now I'm visualizing like I'm standing on a plate. So that's why my feet are staying stacked the whole time. So one on top of the other. And I'm moving my pelvis as one and center. And I'm going to try and keep my shoulder blades down. I'm going to try and do a better job. Inhale as I twist. Exhale, center. I want you to feel the exhalation bring you home, right? It's like right underneath that power under the belly button. Twist to the left and center. Twist to the right and center. And the left, center, and the right. One more. And back to the center. Bring your knees into you. I want you to give them a hug. Good. Stir the knees around. Reverse. Now, we're going to keep our hands here and you're going to push your knees forward. This is going to straighten the arms. Resist the urge to roll the shoulders forward. The idea is that we understand where our shoulder blades are on our rib cage. Now, we're going to keep that energy of the legs pushing forward and the connection of the arms into the back as we let our upper body curl up. Now, notice my elbows did not bend. I'm going to keep them straight. And I'm going to keep my abdominals deep and engaged, right? And now I'm going to let my legs do the work here. So a little rocking. Imagine you're massaging your low back on the mat. So a little rocking, rocking. Resist the urge to let the elbows bend. Elbows don't bend even when you rock back. My head and neck are easy, right? It's because I'm understanding the connection between my arms and my back. I'm going to rock up enough so that I can get to the top in 3, in 2, and 1. Nice job. We're all the way up. From here, we're going to make our way into an all fours position. So come back to all fours. We were here a little bit earlier. And I'm going to have you take your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Bring your hands down and you're going to aim the fingertips inward towards each other. And now I took my hands from being directly under my shoulders to a little bit closer to me under my collarbones. And you're gonna look up and you're gonna arch your back. So look, I'm gonna arch my back. And now I'm gonna bend my elbows and I'm lowering my chest down to the mat. And I feel my shoulder blades come together. And then when I can't go any further, round and then press away with the arms. Feel the abdominals nestle in. Change the shape of the spine into your arch, look up. Keep looking up as you lower the chest down. When you can't go further, round the spine and press through strong, long arms, doming. Return, arch, go down, open the heart up, stretch across the chest and the middle back, and then curl and press away. One more time, lying and drinking. Look up, elbows wide, extension in the back, and curl. Now, come back to all fours, fingertips facing forward. Now, shoulders are over the wrist. We're gonna round the spine, curl. Keep the arms long and active, even when you go into your arch. So I want you to maintain the integrity of shoulders on ribs. I know I've mentioned that many, many times, but that's because that's one place that most people struggle with. So curl here, and then move through your neutral spine into your arch. Let's just do one more. Curl, curl, curl. Soften the sternum, let the back of the head rest, and then move through the neutral into extension. Come to all fours with a neutral spine, so neutral meaning the natural curves, and you've established that strong arm to back connection. And without moving the hips, we're gonna step the right foot back. Without moving the hips, step the left foot back. Again, no movement in the body. Right knee comes back down directly under the right knee where you started, or the hips where you started. And the left knee does the same thing. So we're stepping back into plank and coming back to all fours without changing anything in the body. This is our plank prep exercises. It goes step out, out, fold in, left side lead, step, step, left knee, in, and in. Right leg, it's step, step, right knee, in. So whichever leg leads. Out, left, and then the left is gonna lead back in. And now the right leads out and in. So out, out, in, step, step, fold, fold, step, step, fold, fold, step, step. Hold it here. You're in your plank. Feel the alignment. Reach through the heels. You're on the balls of the foot. You have long arms. Press into the hands. Neck in line with spine. Take one full breath. Inhale. Deepen with an exhale. Bring the right knee down. Bring the left knee down. Get off of the wrist. Shift back. And we're gonna lie down onto our belly. Now slide down, lengthen your legs. So I'm gonna have you stack your hands one on top of the other. Forehead rests down on the hands. Eat a lot of space here. And then do a little thigh wiggle. Feel the front of the hips open, right? And then we're gonna let the head rest for a moment. And I want you to deepen the abdominals. So there's gonna be this gentle gathering and lifting here. And then you're gonna lift the right leg at the same time as you lengthen it. And then it gets a little longer and you place it down. And the left leg, lengthen the left leg as you lift it and bring it down. Now notice, both of my hip bones are staying down the whole time. My pubic bone is also down. So it doesn't have to be high. I want you to think equal value over lift and length. The back of the knee is straight, so the back of the knee is open. We're not bending. Slide the leg and lift it. Now, we'll do the right leg first, hold it, and then the left leg. Lower the right and lower the left. Now lift the left leg, lift the right leg, lower the left leg, and lower the right. Pause here. So we just did those little leg lifts, right? The idea is feeling the connection in through the pelvis into the spine so that we feel supported, right? We feel the work in the glutes and the hamstrings and not the low back compression, right? If you felt a little bit too much in the low back, I encourage you to take the feet a little bit wider and don't lift quite as high. Focus more on length and connection. So we're gonna do a little extension, but I'm gonna have us tuck the toes first on the mat, and then we're just gonna do a little side to side here with the heels. Now the reason for that is because rotation, so this is offering a little rotation in the spine, believe it or not, even though it's so small. You can let the forehead roll to side if that feels natural. Our extension helps facilitate, our rotation helps to facilitate extension. And extension is where we're going next. So when I say extension, I mean when we're lifting our chest up and extending the spine. So if you know that you struggle with some extension, it maybe doesn't feel great to you, maybe it feels limited to you, I encourage you in any program that you're in to just take the time, give yourself a little rotation first, even if it's just this. Now we already did do rotation in here with our knee sways, but I'm just giving us a little extra because I care about you. I care about your back. And I just know it feels good. Okay, so we did our little rotation. We just swayed our heels. Now I'm gonna have you, if you can, scoot forward. Now you might use paper towels. You might use paper plates or towels, but I can slide on my floor. So if you can slide on your floor, then do it here. So you're gonna scoot forward. We're gonna do the slide to Sphinx. So I want you to gather your abdominals, press your pubic bone down, engage your legs. You can keep your legs down, don't lift them. Start to bend the elbows back, and that props your heart up, and we're in extension. Now I still have tone running up the front of my body, and then I'm lengthening back out. This is called Sphinx. We're slide to Sphinx. Slide the elbows back, lift the rib cage up, and extend that middle back. And lower. Now my legs are active even though they're not lifting. I'm engaging my legs, I have support, and I lift. And reach away. We'll do one more. Slide and lift. And lengthen out. Go ahead and bring yourself back onto the mat. And we're gonna roll onto our side. So turn onto your side so you can face me. And lengthen out that bottom arm. So we have ears, shoulders, and hips in line with each other. Lengthen your legs so they're just a little bit in front of your hips. This is called banana. So I want you to think about a banana shape, how it's like a parenthesis, it's like arched, right? We're not quite that arched, but we are a little bit. So I want you to bring your sternum in, like you're kind of tucking the front of your body into the front of your pants. And that just like rounded a little bit the low back. You feel the sits bones wrapping down towards the hamstrings. The legs are long. That top hand is in front for support. Nothing going on here. On the inhale, this is important. On the inhale, from this place in the body, lift the legs. And exhale, lower. Inhale. And exhale. Now, it doesn't matter how high the legs go. And if you want to let the bottom ear float up too, because it feels like a natural placement for the head, then allow for that. Inhale. We're looking for this little plumb line in the body. Exhale. Inhale. The in-breath offers some support. And down. Again. And last time, going up. See if you can stay there and reach the top arm over to a little balance here. Go ahead and lower it all the way down. We're gonna come up to the Z sit position. We're gonna take this is my left arm, so it's gonna go up here, and then I'm gonna yield over to create a side bend. Now my neck is just following my spine here, right? And I'm gonna keep my eyes forward, and notice my elbow is straight, and my opposite hand is down for support. And then come up, bring this forearm down, and the same thing, but on the other side. And come up, push away, and alternate sides. Now be careful here. What's gonna wanna happen is you might wanna rotate, right? You might wanna overarch. Just try and keep it, imagine you can visualize like you're between two panes of glass. Last time, over to the side, creating space between the rib rings, and then to the other side. Good. We're gonna come up, and we're gonna swing the legs around. We're just gonna do the other side for our banana. That bottom arm is long, the ear is resting. Ears, shoulders, and hips in line, feet slightly in front. Top hand is here for support. Let the ear rest down. Soften the sternum, tuck it into the front of the body. Feel this rounding at the low back. Inhale to lift the legs, and exhale to lower. Now remember, Our sides of our body are not the same, right? They never feel the same. So if you're feeling a difference from one side to the other, that's absolutely fine, right? Just notice it. Inhale to float up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale supports. And exhale floats. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Inhale, stay. Maybe take that top arm over, right? The hands aren't touching. They're like a frame for the head, right? Stay. We just have this little balance. And then lower down. As you come up, stagger your legs. We'll do that side bend on the other side. And we'll take our, this is my right arm, but that long arm up. Side of the body stretches and yield over to the side. That elbow is straight. Inhale up. Bring the forearm all the way down and reach to the other side. Inhale, lift. And exhale. So one of the foundations of Pilates, like no matter what Pilates class you take, there should be a focus on breath and movement of the spine in all directions. They should have a rounding flexion, extension, arching, side bending, which is what we're doing now, and rotation. We want to move our spine in all directions, right? Keeping our spine nice and healthy, mobile. 1 more. And come back up. So these are just a tool for you. Come to center. We'll come back to that breath, right? So that we don't move on, just kind of, I don't like to end doing a single-sided something. So even if it's just like taking a moment to come back within so the body can do its little micro adjustments and settle back into what feels like a natural position. But what I want to mention is that these are a tool for you so that if you do, like maybe you only have, 1 minute in your day, 2 minutes in your day, and you need to just move, connect to breath, do some diaphragmatic breath, come within, and move your spine in extension, flexion, rotation, and side bending, right? All of those things, right? Or let's say you went into some sort of movement program and you feel like, oh, like I really need to do a little bit more of that. I need to do a little bit more of this. Oh, we skipped that. This is just a tool to offer you more confidence, right? And knowing what feels good to you and knowing how to use your own inner wisdom to make good choices for you, your body in that moment, in that day. All right, let's close by coming with the breath, coming into the breath. So as you inhale, feel the abdominals extend, soften, release. And then as you exhale, find that gentle gathering. 1 more. Exhale. Feel free to stay with that as long as you'd like to. Thank you so much for being here.